Welcome to the patio. Today I'm here with to do 3/4 of life in the patio. I'm with Gary. I'm with Fortenberry. DW is down and out and ill between the last episode and today. Look, guys, the flu. All I can say is the flu. Wish hope you get better soon, DW. Today we're going to talk to you. I mentioned this last week in the intro to Wednesday's episode, but we want to talk about something. We're going to talk about something a little more serious here. I'm sure we'll crack a few jokes here and there, but I want to ask you guys, when you hear the term First Amendment, you hear this really used a lot by a lot of people. When you hear that, what does it mean? What's First Amendment mean?
Free speech.
Free speech.
Free speech.
Free speech.
I can't even speech right now. Free speech, I believe it's freedom of the press. It gives us the right to bash our government. It's free speech is one thing that I don't think, does any country provide that?
But we need to talk about what's going on in China. It falls in this category. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but we'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to read to you guys the exact words of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Right.
There's not many words there, but I think you'll be surprised it's more than just free speech. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably, to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Okay, so that's in old folk talk, right? That's in some old timey.
You got the New King James version.
You're speaking Latin.
I think this is in the New King James version.
Yeah, that was the Latin version.
I tell you what, let's see what it says here. Let's see if I can find it in normal words.
I had to look up see what
Peaceably. I know. When I realized it was peaceably.
It means in a peaceable manner.
So if you're saying
Peacefully.
I got a question.
So that means no, but that has to mean looting.
It means not looting.
Does it?
You can't incite riots with speech.
But peaceable is
Wait.
Peaceably, you cannot incite a riot.
Can I take you guys back into time, into 2020, the summer of love?
Here you go. Definition 1: without violence or war, or in peaceful way.
What'd you say?
Without violence.
Without violence, yes. Okay.
Or war.
Okay, so it's inciting.
So
riots.
it includes getting new shoes from the looting.
It does not include going shopping at the local mall when it's after hours. It does not include burning buildings or.
Well, that has nothing to do with speech.
But that's not against the law if you're mad at somebody at the government, right?
Yeah, but they don't attack the government. That's what I don't understand. I mean, for all the faults of January 6th, at least they took it out with people they're pissed at.
So is
I mean, right?
Is saying something false free speech?
There was a time that it didn't matter if it's true or false.
That's correct.
Yes. Saying something false is free speech.
Yeah, I mean, so if someone says something false, regardless if they know it's false or not, should they be allowed to say it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What if someone says something that hurts your feelings?
Sticks and stones.
But I don't think that's where we're at today.
That's not where we're at, but I'm just saying that's as long as I'm not inciting violence against you.
So if I were to say, Gary, you're ugly, you have a right to cancel me today.
I'm aware of that, but I feel like that, you're practicing your free speech, though.
See, I agree.
You're practicing your right to say whatever.
I grew up in a house where you basically just got talked bad to. There was plenty of love in the house, but one thing I learned is you got some thick skin. Look, I've been a big man my whole life. Big T just didn't start yesterday.
No,
he started about 40 some odd years ago.
It didn't happen overnight.
And I'm different than most big folks. I got a pretty high level of confidence about me. Okay, and so the only way you get that is you got to have some thick skin. You learn to laugh with folks when they say something funny. Because, sometimes it's funny, dude. It's just funny. Just roll with it. It's a lot. There's very few people in the world who impact my daily life. I mean, it really is. I mean, you could say the people I work for.
Yeah, the ones that do are talking bad about you.
Yeah, exactly.
If we do, we're being funny about it.
Because if someone saw our pictures, and all of a sudden, all over YouTube, they're talking bad about me. Look at this big rascal right here. Do you know? I'm like, okay, this is good.
This is awesome. That's
This is
people
awesome.
are talking
They're
about
talking
us.
about
Yeah,
it.
go on.
I'm not trying to cancel this dude.
Go
I'll be
out there and
"Hey,
say,
man."
what's
I'll be like, hey, let's hang out, dude. Let's hang out. You funny. Let's hang out. But that's kind of the culture I come from too. That's where I grew up. That's how we did things.
Now, we also grew up in an era when you didn't your mama jokes and
That's true.
And I mean, you know,
They don't do your
when
mama
somebody
jokes
look
anymore.
when somebody wasn't good at something, you made fun of them.
Yep, it's just the way it was.
Yeah, or you got made fun of if you made a mistake.
Yep.
Right. I mean, we all grew up together, and we'd go play basketball together or go do something, and you know, some people get mad if you laugh at them, but then they're the first one to laugh at you. But then, you know, I'd say at least the guys here we have date, we kind of can make fun of ourselves.
Let me tell you what I think started this whole cancel culture. The whole turning point that, you know, everybody said that you can't say nothing bad about anybody. Let me tell you what started it all?
what's that?
What's that?
When they started giving trophies to every team in Little League, regardless you win or lose. That's when it started.
Yeah, I mean, you're not far off.
I think I'm right on.
Well, we no longer teach anyone how to accept a loss.
Correct.
Well, that goes back to just I know we're getting off topic here, but the whole the whole bull. Now, it's not good to bully kids. I get it.
No,
but,
you don't bully.
I mean, we bullied each other.
Now, there's a difference between bullying something you like and bullying something you don't like.
Yeah, there's
True.
There's like you used to bully me all the time,
Playful,
Jamie. So I mean, but I liked you. Jamie.
I didn't bully you.
Well, Jamie, did
called
you not
bullying.
tie Donnie up, or not Donnie? Gary.
No, Donnie tied
Donnie
Gary.
tied
me
Gary up. Okay.
No, I treated Gary with utmost respect.
Yeah, that's true. Well, y'all had Gary tied up is when Donnie climbed your back and rubbed your shoulders with the lotion. Puts the lotion on his skin. So one reason I wanted to talk about this, though, is because First Amendment right doesn't just belong to someone who says things that you want to hear. I mean, you know, people surround themselves with folks with similar ideas. It's just the way it is. People go to church with people with similar views.
It's far more important for people that say stuff you don't like.
It is.
That's where it's most critical.
It is. And, you know, I think if we refuse to listen to other people's views, we probably have a big problem. But some of the, and there's a couple of things going on that the reason I want to talk about this, there's, you know, canceling of some pretty high level names here. There's, we'll talk a little bit about Alex Jones. Alex Jones is, he's a conspiracy theorist. He probably a conspiracy guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Fortenberry knows half of his conspiracies, but
I know several.
He's made his way with conspiracies. He ended up coming across something with the Sandy Hook, the massacre at Sandy Hook, the terrible events that occurred there. And he was playing audio on his show, basically suggesting that it was a setup by the government, which is absolutely absurd. It's despicable to anybody to even suggest such. But they turned it into a media, and not just media, in a legal battle, and recently awarded folks over almost $1 billion
From
in
this Alex
damages.
Jones guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he had to pay that much?
Well, he doesn't have it.
Well,
but
yeah,
I mean,
his show's not that popular.
he was asked to pay it.
He
Yeah,
was asked to pay it.
okay.
But the problem here is that he's saying things that the people in charge don't like to hear. It has to do with where the court, you know, they took him to court. Like, I can't say I agree with anything he said around Sandy Hook. Okay, but
Well, in fairness, a lot of things he did was strictly cover other people's opinions of Sandy Hook.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say he didn't sway one way or the other. He definitely swayed towards it being not a hoax, but a setup. But for the most part, I think he covered other people's discussions on it. Is that a fair
that's
assessment?
kind of
According to him.
That's kind of how some of the research I've done shows too. But you got to dig deep to find that research.
So what was the lawsuit
narrative is
based
not that.
on? Just the fact,
that he made
defamation.
money. Yep, he made
he
money.
made money.
By claiming that this never happened and caused damages to those people.
What damages did he?
Well,
I mean,
they said that people showed up their doors and stuff.
Okay.
And
Based on his direction.
so okay, based on his direct, I'm gonna say okay, maybe he was not doing free speech because he was somewhat inciting violence.
But if he never
Potentially.
requested anybody to go to their door, if you have a town square that you're speaking at and people choose to, on their own accord to do things,
That's correct. But are you making them angry? Are you doing this on purpose? You know, that's
okay. So you bring up a good point. So if he wasn't doing it on purpose, and
Intent.
yeah, I mean, if his intent wasn't to do harm, if his intent was to have a discussion on whether or not it happened,
then yeah, I don't think he needs to be held liable for that.
Look, we're not legal experts.
No, we're not. We're not. But if his intent was to cause violence and shake things up and rile things up, and they went and harassed people, then yeah, he's liable.
But folks, the reason we talk about this is I think it's important we all know what our true rights are, right? Because some of this stuff kind of this cancel, especially it's a cancel culture thing though, becomes borderline of shutting off the other side. There's another high-profile individual who's going through something similar, right? It's Ye. Ye. Kanye West. Ye. It's Ye. They call him Ye. His new name is Ye.
Yeah.
He said some things about the Jewish community. Hebrews, I think is how he referred to them. That some things even going down. You guys probably heard it all. But since then, they basically, canceled him. They took him from everything. They dropped him. His producers dropped him. His record label dropped him. His council dropped him. He actually lost Adidas, the Yeezy, which is ironic because Adidas is a German company. But yeah, it's kind of ironic.
Adidas, isn't that what they're called?
Adidas, yeah. But and the things he said were not good, and we don't support what he said. But is it really to that point? The words he said should take his livelihood away? Because I got to tell you, some of the music and some of the other things he said in his music toward women, toward minorities, other minorities, including me and
I just hope everybody understands that this cancel culture is a bottomless pit and it's going to pull everybody into it.
Well, it depends on who's in charge.
It hasn't yet. That's the thing. It's only pulled one side.
It will eventually.
They do eat their own a little bit.
They do eat their own occasionally, but it will. It's a never-ending circle.
A great example is Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, I mean
that was very poor taste.
Very poor taste.
Yeah,
but it also was it really that bad?
Is she the one that had Trump in a doll and
not like a head of Trump?
Yeah, that was sort of gross.
So you have that, which while it's in poor taste, it's still freedom of speech. And I support her to be able to do that if she wants to.
Yeah, so I can even understand, I guess, a platform like Facebook going in and they say, okay, well, we don't condone this type of posting, right? But this fact checking, the term fact checking really bothers me.
No, not fact checking. The term that bothers me the most is misinformation.
Those two to me go hand in hand.
It reminds me every time they say it. I think of Roger Clemens. I misremembered misinformation. Anything can be misinformation.
Yeah. So who deems it misinformation?
Whoever wants to deem whatever misinformation.
If I was to ask Jamie about misinformation regarding Joe Biden's son Hunter, his view of which is misinformation is going to be different than freshmen in college.
What is what's the definition of misinformation? That's what I want to know.
Look it up, Scott.
I'm about to go look it up.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with the First Amendment.
A young lady whose last name is Formation. Misformation. Or information.
I thought maybe it was a new...
Okay, so misinformation is false or inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive.
But would that be just lying?
That would be lying. But
that's two different things though. That's wrong information or lying.
I never had sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah.
Would that be considered a lie, misinformation?
That's deceptive.
Contempt. That's contempt.
Define the word is. That's the way I feel about misinformation.
See, you sure you're not a lawyer? You sound more and more like a lawyer.
Habeas corpus.
Now you have to look at it.
That's a pirate,
look that
isn't
shit
it?
up. What's the hell is
habeas
I'll have your habeas and your corpus.
So
at Corpus Christi.
This Thursday.
So we were talking about the Kathy Griffin thing. So on the other end of it, Madonna, who stands up and says, "I want to go blow the White House up." How's that not inciting violence?
There's people who go to jail for doing less.
Well, there's people right now in jail for doing less on January 6th.
Didn't Nancy Pelosi threaten the president to punch him?
Which one?
Trump.
Yeah, but you can say anything about a conservative president or conservative lawmaker.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. You need to look what you know who Larry Elder is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a goober.
So he got a radio show out in California. He's an African American man and very conservative. He actually I think works for Candace Owens stuff. But he was trying to get that governor recalled. I think it was the governor.
Yeah, it's correct.
There was a person that approached him in a monkey suit throwing bananas at him, and that was not deemed. That if that is not a hate crime, okay.
Called him the black face of white supremacy and threw a banana at him.
Okay, this really happened, folks. I know.
I saw it happen on TV. I saw it happen.
You probably have never heard of it. If you're listening direct, you can't make this up. A conservative African American man. This happened to him, and there was not an uproar. There was not a hate crime. There was not that this is racism. It's misinformation, I guess. I guess no one deemed that misinformation.
Nobody cared.
No one cared.
That's the bottom line. No.
Or as Southerners, most of us were taught to not really have feelings, weren't we? If you cried, what was you told?
Go rub dirt
crying.
on it.
No, keep crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that?
And here it is right now. Like if I threw a pair of Invisalign at Stacey Abrams, I'd get,
Invisalign. What's
the
that?
little the thing for your teeth.
Oh yeah, that makes your teeth great.
Yeah. If I did that.
You guys do understand that the cancel culture. We do say this is the left. That is cancel culture, but
it's not just the left.
It's not just the left. It's a lot of people. But do you realize that the people that are wanting cancel culture are also the ones that want to be accepting of everything, of everybody, but not of the views that they don't like?
Well, and it's not just left, but too many people live in echo chambers.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do hope we can do on this show is our opinions are close, not close. I mean, we have a varying degree of right, I think would be the best way to say it.
Yeah.
But I would like for us to be able to not always look at the right side. Because topics aren't always black.
How do you learn by not looking at the other side? How do you learn by not having a struggle, having some type of debate or something like that? You can't always, if you live in this, like you said, an echo chamber, you're just going to follow this straight line. And it's going to take you to no man's land, and you'll never see a differing view.
Have y'all watched the documentary on Netflix about social media?
Yes, that's a good one.
Okay, so you already know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, but you saw how it like they got
so like
they
Facebook
got so angry.
So like Facebook will take once they see what you like,
the social dilemma.
Social dilemma. That's the name of social dilemma.
The computer's gonna get
once Facebook's algorithm finds what you like. That's all you will see, and then you think everybody feels like I do, and then you just can't understand how the other side can see it the other way.
And this next generation is a product of our smartphones. It's a product of the smartphones. Our smartphone is the keeper of information, guys. It's Google, it's Snapchat, it's TikTok, our favorite place for news today. But it could.
Well, it's sad, but right now TikTok's the only place you can get news. But
it doesn't last long.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But you'll have actual people taking actual videos and posting it.
Of what's actually going on.
Yeah. Now sometimes it's slanted. Sometimes it's just.
Oh yeah.
Here you go. Like the officers that beat the guy in Arkansas. That was the first place I saw it was TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
The Wisconsin volleyball team. First place I saw was TikTok.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. All right. Let's talk about that with regards to First Amendment rights. So, you guys may have seen some headlines here about the Wisconsin girls volleyball team, which from last year, right? 2021?
Yeah, I believe it's 2021.
They won the Big Ten championship for volleyball. And the news that came out was that there were some not safe for work, so it meant that there was some nudity of some photographs taken inappropriately in the locker room.
Yes.
Okay, so that when I hear that, I'm thinking there's some pervy dude that's done snuck around, hid some cameras, or he was hiding in the locker. He's videoing. It's like, well, that's not really what occurred here.
No, that is not what occurred.
No.
If you look at the picture, that's not what occurred.
No, they were more than happy to pose.
They posed basically topless, and knowingly and openly toward the person taking the photograph. I'm sure.
They are looking at one location.
Yes.
I'm sure that it was a celebratory, pick.
And that's fine. I mean,
I've won games too. I've never pulled my balls out.
I never said let's get naked.
You sure about that?
She did not.
You showed your panties before a basketball game one day.
Yeah, I did, but that was
Yeah.
an accident.
Okay, but my point is, that's their freedom to do that.
It is.
right?
It is.
And yes, okay, they may have intended for it to be private, but somebody who owned one of those copies of that photograph shared it.
Look.
And once they share it, you can't let that dragon back in the
The
cage.
likelihood that we have any young adults, young teenagers, or kids listen to our show is slim.
That could be high. I think a few like us.
So let me put this out there: everything you do
Everything,
that has a video or camera,
which is almost everything kids do today.
yeah,
Even Snapchat, guys. I know you believe it goes away in 30 seconds or
it
something.
does not go away.
It stays with you forever.
And these girls made a decision, and now they regret that decision. And I do hate it for them.
At least the photograph I saw, it was not extremely distasteful. It looked like girls out there having fun. They were adults.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
And
most
you know
important
what?
thing.
You
They were
mark it
adults.
up and you go, okay, you say, hey, that's my feminism, right, to show my chest if I'd like to.
Which this takes me back. Do you remember the soccer matches back in FIFA or whatever for the World Cup when they got all mad when the girls won the soccer event and they ran around and took off their shirts, but they still had their bras on?
there,
Remember
yeah.
people threw a fit about that?
Yeah, that
Wow,
wasn't
how
near as
far
bad as
we've
the
come.
goalie.
That I can see everybody being okay with that these days. So
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah, I mean I didn't. She was celebrating. It wasn't like she got naked.
Yeah, and it was a spur of the moment. She pulled her shirt off. She had a sports bra on.
Yeah, it's not like she got. What's the difference in bathing suit? That's the way I look at it.
So where does freedom of speech end? So when you have a photograph of, so Gary, you can use your freedom of speech to say anything as long as the people around you doesn't get offended by it.
No, that is not.
No, it's not true.
That's not
so
true.
what if someone says something to offend you?
That's okay. As long as
What are you going to do? Are you going to throw something at them? You going to attack them for their view?
no, I would like to know their understanding of why they had that view of me. I would like to, and then we can talk about it.
Then you'd what? Leave.
Huh?
You leave.
Or I
right?
leave or whatever.
You leave.
No,
If you don't want to be around something like that,
I'm not going to go and scream at them and yell at them and say hate words or anything like that to them. I'm going to be really nice.
Let's go back to the
I just had a memory. Y'all remember? Oh God, this has probably been a decade ago. They had that thing on online called Topics.
Oh, I remember topics.
Okay,
No.
So like
Older
somebody,
people in small communities lived on topics.
yeah,
That's the
somebody called me one day.
gossip
They said,
channel.
you know you're on Topics."
I remember this.
I was like,
It may have been me.
I was like, "What's Topics?" So I got the rundown, and apparently it's where gossip goes and
It just
hangs out.
Someone just randomly and anonymously.
Yeah, everything's anonymous too. So like, I went and looked, and somebody said, "What's y'all's thoughts on Jamie Fortenberry?"
did they say some really nice things about
no.
you?
Actually, you know what was more hurtful?
What?
Nobody responded. So there was
You're
zero
not
comments.
nearly as important as you did it yourself. Gary. Touch it.
Jamie,
Jason, let me
what do
see
you
that
think?
picture.
I should have went on there and said,
Hey.
"That's a handsome fella."
Okay, so I've got a.
Like my feelings were hurt. I mean, I at least thought it'd be some gossip. Well, yeah, I don't know what's the difference between what's that law? I don't know the difference between scamming.
You know
someone-
how much editing I do to take that whole part out there. What's that? What's that? What's that?
I bet there's a bunch.
Oh my gosh! It's like we had an hour and 42 minutes, and I got down to 42 minutes just by eliminating Jamie.
Jamie, what's
that? And then we'll like stumble across it. Yeah. We'll stumble.
When I listen back, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I thought about that a lot harder than.
Yeah.
It sounds so much smoother when T goes over it.
Yeah. It does.
Well, like,
It does.
like I know a lot of things. It's like kind of back here.
Yeah.
Jamie's like, I'm an excellent linguist.
No, I'm a terrible linguist. We go to that trivia night. I'll be like, yeah, that thing.
Speaking of, okay, so we got a couple of things we got going on, and we're going to get back to this, but I want to stop in the middle and let you guys know. So we hadn't picked a night yet, but on Tuesday nights at the local pizza joint here at the Depot, we're going to go out and have trivia night. Come out and join us. We'll kind of let you know. I doubt it's next week.
no, yeah, it'll be
Probably a couple weeks. Probably in
it'll
November.
probably be
in
in November, yeah.
So we'll let you guys know when we're going to be there. Come out and meet the guys. If you don't already know us, odds are you're our friends. I think there's only 4 listeners. And then this Friday, so we're going to drop this on Thursday. On Friday night, we'll be at the Esperanza Bonanza. It's the local cooking contest. We'll be out at, what's the name of the tent we're at? It's Willow Bend.
Willow Bend nursing home.
We'll be at the tent there with
which we're not really
friends,
cooking. We'll
Big
be hanging
Steve.
out with
We'll
Big
be
Steve.
hanging out for a little while. Yeah, hopefully it's not too cold. And then in January, we plan on being in Blythe, Arkansas for Marty Ray Project. We're going to go up and try to take as many people we can go. So we'd love to get everybody to go, but get your tickets now.
Get your tickets.
You got to go online.
Yeah. If you don't know Marty Ray, look him up on YouTube. He does let us use his music for our intro and outro.
Pretty cool guy.
And he's got some really neat music out there. All right, so but back to the First Amendment. Here, and we're going to delve into the other amendments. The first one's the one people like to use, right? Here we go. That's my First Amendment right. My First Amendment right is in Seattle was to tear down the police station. My First Amendment right
Well, that's not speech. That was an action.
Well, but action is also covered. Just like a prime example would be Kaepernick.
Oh,
I mean, his right to kneel,
but he didn't incite violence or anything like that. He could do that.
And I say this is where somewhere I've progressed in my opinions. At the moment he did it, I was like, I hate this guy. That's wrong.
But that's your
now
American.
He has the right to do it, and I'm fine with that.
I always felt like he had the right to do it.
I did, and it just pissed me off.
It made you mad, but I knew he had the right to do it, but I didn't agree with it. But he could do whatever he wanted to do.
So let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this then. Burning the flag.
I don't like it, and it upsets me in my heart to see that, but you have the right to do it.
I'm really torn on that. I mean, I know there's a lot of veterans who say I fought so you can do that.
I dare you to do that to the China flag in China.
I'm glad you brought that up, Gary. I was just headed there.
That's what I like to see you do. That's why I love America.
Do you guys know who Xi Jinping is?
You talking about Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, he's the leader of the People's Republic of China.
He looks just like Winnie the Pooh, man.
So he was earlier this week. They had their 20th. What they call it? There's a word for it. I don't have my notes from me, but it's the Communist Party gathering they have every so often, and he was elected to a 3rd term. Okay, but here's the troubling part.
But 100% of the votes.
Yeah, it's worse. Okay, so
103%.
the guy. I want to make sure I get the exact details of this, but this is how it goes. Okay. They were at the Congress meeting. China's ex-leader, so he's the one before him, and I'm not sure there's much difference in your views. As soon as he's sitting there beside Xi Jinping, and look this up on Fun on your phone or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna play it here, but I can't play it where y'all can see it. But they announced that this guy has got his 3rd term. Damn it, why do I got ads? Boy, this isn't going that smoothly. Come on now.
You just talk bad about me.
So they announced it. Then someone walks over to the guy who had the role before and takes him by the arm.
His throat. Oh.
Well, no, I'm sure he's had his throat slit. Takes him by the arm and escorts him away like Joe Biden to a candy shop. And he's confused. He's like, what's going on? Looks at him while they're leading him out of this big damn meeting with all these people.
No, it's common.
And he's like, no, I'll stay here. You can see him doing that. He says, I'm going to stay here. And they're like, no, you're coming with us.
You're done.
And he reaches out for the president guy, and he's like, what's going on here? This guy's old. He was the leader.
Was Joe Biden over there?
No, this is all the communists.
Joe Biden was asleep.
Actually, hold on. There he is. Joe's wandering around with him, and now he's trying to talk back to the president.
Joe's lost.
But no one even acknowledges that this guy touches one guy, you think he's got COVID or something. So they're all... It's so strange. And if this is not the sign of what's coming or what's going on with speech, the thing that makes America great is the fact that people can have freedom of speech, that people can say really whatever they think without the risk of retaliation. To an extent.
When people...
Now, there is a legal limit.
Yeah, there is legal. You can't scream fire in a crowded theater.
Yeah, you can't slander someone and cause harm to them in a way that...
And I almost think slander and stuff, you have to have a platform that, like, it's different than me going on Facebook and say, Terry's ugly.
How dare you?
I know.
Misinformation.
But I think
Hey,
if you have a
y'all can go
platform-
tell people that. I'll like it and share. I'll be like, yeah, Terry's.
He can repost.
I'll repost.
But like a good example is the
Don't feel sorry for me, guys.
what was the old boy that was on the at the parade that got sued CNN? That the Native American got in his
the
face.
narrative was that he had attacked verbally a Native American.
Yes,
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened. And that portion of the video looked like it, and everyone ran with it. This guy got like millions and millions of dollars, and
because that was
defamation.
obviously slander.
This was a young
I mean,
kid. This
it
kid
was.
wasn't even 18. Was he?
Because
Was
he was high school.
They cut out parts of the video that showed what occurred.
to decorate the narrative, and luckily someone had the full video. It was easy. I mean, this was a slam dunk.
and lucky for him, he
don't
now
have to do nothing
owns part of CNN.
We need to show our kids that video and send them to Washington for a week at a time, and just see if they can find an Indian to
You ain't lying.
to. Your luck, Maddie would like propagate it, and then Sam would step in, and then they get the whole video, and it looked like we really mistreated a bunch of.
Oh, there would be, yeah. My kids probably would abuse people though. That'd be the only. They make me and my wife cry all the time.
So I got one more freedom of speech thing, and it's kind of funny.
Look at Rittenhouse.
I mean,
He's going to get money off of it.
I think, yeah, he will. He will, definitely.
I mean, they called him a white supremacist,
they did.
and that's where you.
And from my understanding, he didn't shoot anybody.
No, he
other
shot
than-
somebody.
He
Well-
did, but they were they not white?
They were all white.
Yeah,
they were all criminals. One of them was a child molester.
Yeah, he didn't shoot anybody else of any other different race.
Yeah, one of them just got out of a mental institution.
So are you guys familiar with Marlon Brando, right?
I am.
I've heard of him.
So I think this was in the 70s, maybe 71. He received Oscar for The Godfather,
yep.
which
I already know the story you're telling.
The Godfather is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. Probably to me one of the best movies ever made.
Gary's a godfather.
I'm a godfather.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Godfather. So it was 1973. I'm sorry, I missed it by a couple years. But in response to receiving the Oscar, he sent a lady who presented herself as a Cherokee, Sashing Littlefinger, and she began.
Was
to
it
explain-
Littlefinger?
Little Feather. I'm
Little
sorry.
Feather.
Littlefinger's from.
Sound like about to get a Happy Meal.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Sashing
didn't think
Littlefinger.
that sounded right.
And she came to refuse it based on the treatment of the Indians, Cherokee. Whole thing was a lie.
Because she's not Indian.
She's not an Indian.
No, she's not Indian.
Her
not-
parent,
not
her
American.
dad wasn't a Cherokee alcoholic. It's all a lie.
Yeah, she was Hispanic. She was. Yeah, she was Hispanic.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, but so that was the freedom of speech for her to allow that platform there to bring that message. Look, the treatment of American Indians is notoriously terrible throughout history.
But history's terrible.
History's terrible.
I mean, I do. I wish that. I mean, it was genocide, and we almost. I say we as in the white colonizers. We almost removed an entire ethnic population off the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, history was rough.
History was tough. This is the nicest part of history ever in recorded
yeah.
history.
Like, do you know where the term slave comes from?
I did, and I forgot.
The Slavics.
That was it. Yeah.
There were so many Slavics that were servants that they became slaves. Was the term?
really?
Yeah. So for them to name that status after you,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of you.
So look, we've hit up on the First Amendment right. Next week, this is probably gonna be a longer one. We should have DW back. We're gonna find some time to talk about probably one of the hottest topics is Second Amendment rights. We're going to delve into the Second Amendment. We're going to read you word for word what Second Amendment is. We're going to talk about what it means. Let's talk about some of the things in the news.
I tell you what,
We kind of know Fortenberry's stance on it.
yeah. Leading up to the elections, let's just run through all these.
We're going to. But
Okay.
I don't think
Every
we won't
amendment?
be done before the election.
Well, no, but we
The election's November 8th. But I
it's,
say we
hey,
do it between now and the end of the year. Is what I
Y'all don't
like to do.
forget, everybody listening, polls open, I think, the
Yesterday.
28th.
Yesterday.
I'm way off.
Early voting here in Arkansas started yesterday. Get out and vote. Come out and see us Friday night at Esperanza Bonanza. Come out and see us Saturday at Kyle Christmas. I haven't gotten a message asking a location, so you guys don't want to hang with Life in the Patio, but that's okay. We'll be out there Saturday night, hooping it up. We got some battle rap. Remember, we got a battle
We got
rap.
battle rap.
Let me say this before we go, too. Everybody that's voting in Arkansas, keep in mind there is more than 2 political parties running. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm not endorsing anyone.
Find out about your candidate. Vote for the candidate best aligns with what you find important.
Correct. Don't vote based on political party.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to align yourself. Know what your beliefs are. I would like to think no one's fully aligned with either party, and somewhere in the middle is what most people are. But look, love you guys. We've been doing this now. We're about 1,300 downloads. Next week will be 2 whole months on the air. When we hit in December, we're gonna start getting some YouTubes. That's what we're doing live. We're working on going live. Come a long way, guys.
We're gonna at Two Snake Boogie.